What's up, everybody? We are out and about. It's extremely sloppy and muddy. That's an understatement. I can't even stress just how rotten the ground is. This, like every step you take, your foot just sinks. I'm on a concrete bridge, but I mean, it is just absolute slop. Sorry, it's the worst part. After we have ice, or snow and ice, the ground freezes. When it thaws out, it's terrible. The ground is just rotten. And my truck paid for it this morning, or today. I've come out here, the Deere trackhoe, the snow's gone. It's not raining at the moment, so I figured I'd come try to get some hydraulic oil in that trackhoe. And we had to come in the truck because my service truck would not have made it back here. I still got a little walk. I'm not gonna try to drive over there because in typical fashion, I forgot the key to the trackhoe. So if I get the truck stuck, I'm gonna have to call somebody or be walking. But she got a little muddy, threw some mud all over it. And yeah, it needed to be washed anyways. It adds character, you know, like it's kind of, she ain't no pavement princess, as some people like to call it. I got 4 buckets of some hydraulic oil here. Gonna get me a little pre-workout in before my actual workout today. Got to tote those buckets to there. I feel like that'll be, I'm hoping that's more than enough oil. I'm gonna tote 2, probably go ahead and put 2 in there and see. 2 may do it, I'm not real sure. Guys, do me a solid, hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment below. Let me know if you're enjoying me being back at it. And obviously, let me know if there's something you want me to cover. Whew, that was a shoulder torture. Doesn't seem that far, but I don't know, I'll kind of walk it out on the way back. It's at least 100 yards. Shoulders are toasty after that. All right, as you can see, there is no Earl in the gauge. So it's, of course, now that I've walked over here, it's starting to rain. I don't really need to get water in the oil. It's about to really start raining. I just toted that oil over here. It's coming down more and more. It's kind of a slow process filling this thing up too, because you got to let it keep running down. Crap. It ain't just pouring down rain yet, and so hell, I'm already out here. I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, it's 11/16. That's pretty close. It might be metric, but it's 11/16 will work. I can't figure out why there's not a filler spot where you can just unscrew a cap and pour oil in. I don't really get this whole gotta unbolt a plate every time. I mean, they know darn well you're gonna have to add oil at some point. Ah, crap. I'm gonna have to wait. I don't want water to get in there any more that's probably already in there. I'm sitting in the trackhoe. I looked on the radar. It's not really showing much, so I'm kind of hoping this will pass and I can get out and put that oil in there. I did notice that the mice have been having fun in here. There's a lot of mouse turds and it smells pretty terrible in here. So I'm gonna have to do something for the stupid mice. You get into farming, I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the things that will make you just very angry, is mice. They're terrible. They wanna eat up everything, eat up all the wires in the combine, and having a heyday on my trackhoe now. My patience paid off. The rain quit. It was very peaceful. I got in the trackhoe, kind of opened the window a little bit, had a little bit of a cool breeze coming in, sound of the rain on the cab, pretty much put me to sleep. So. just met with our marketing guys yesterday, and I think I mentioned it in another video, $12 is going to be kind of the range we're looking at on beans. And you know, I mean, I've been farming for, this will be my 10th year having my own operation. When I started farming, or right around early on farming, bean prices were like $8. So even $12, I'm like, hey, you know, it could be a whole lot worse. Do I wish it was higher? Yeah, but one of the things I've always actually said is I tend to make more money in years where the prices are lower, because everything else is also lower. All the input costs are lower as well. That's the bad thing. It seems like when the prices are great, everything else follows. Fertilizer, equipment, everything else goes up. If things are good, money is being made in the farming world, it's being made everywhere. And you know, I'm not saying I want the other parts of the industry to do bad, but I wish they didn't hit us quite as hard. You got to push this button. This lets the air out of the system there. You got to kind of keep it held down while you're filling it up. I'm anxious to get out here, get a bulldozer on this place, get this swept out. I feel like there's probably 10 or 15 acres that we can get prepared right now out here that'll have this place. It'll be around 50 acres is what I'm thinking. Hey, I want to add something while I'm thinking about it, because it's very likely I'll forget. But the end of February is the Memphis Farm and Gin Show. Every year it's out, I guess the Cook Convention Center, I believe, is where they have it. But I always go, me and my wife, my kids go every year. And I'll most likely be there on Friday. If you see me there, come up and say, hey, let me know you watch the channel. And I'd love to hear from you. You know, I don't know how many of you are local or how many of you make the drive to the Memphis Gin Show, but I will be there on Friday. I'd love to chat with any of you. So if you go, try to track me down. I'll be walking around there at some point during the day. Two buckets in, nothing in there. I'll make the walk back to get, may just get one bucket. I don't know if I'm feeling quite froggy. Carry both of them again. There we are, right in the middle of the two red lines. It's perfect. Finished just in time. It's coming on down. My freaking hoodie is not particularly good for rain, so I'm getting pretty soaked. But I'm already out here. I've seen the deer are moving. It's 2:30. They're kind of out a little bit early, but I'm gonna walk over here. I want to check out where I put this culvert in. We've had some of these rains. I'm just curious how it's holding up, if I need to work on it any, and check that out. It's doing all right. Some water has definitely run over it right here. Needs some more dirt on it. I can tell that much. Oh, I want to slip and fall in there. She coming on through there pretty good. Headed to the big ditch. Man, some water comes through here. This place is just, it's kind of like a natural swamp almost. You can see over here. This is the place I got to get going good. I mean, just look at this water coming through here. All this needs to be swept with the dozer. I had kind of just started messing with it the other day. Just sweeping right here. That's why it's kind of a low spot right there. Whew, Lord. Making a little bit of a mess on here. Well, that didn't do real good. Kind of throwing a little mud on my truck. I don't want to slide off in that ditch either. Getting kind of sideways. Oh shoot, come on baby. Don't go down in the field. Dang, don't slide into the track hoe either. Woo, hey, you know, when you own the place, you can do stuff like that. You can kind of cut up a little bit. Somebody's complaining out there like, if I did that to it, if I was out there, you'd be complaining. Like, yeah, well, if you pay my note, I'll let you come tear up the road a little bit. I mean, I had to get out of there. I don't know what else you wanted me to do. I can't see nothing out of there. Makes me think of that scene in Django Unchained where they got the masks on. He's like, I can't see blankety blank out of this thing. It's pretty much a word back there either. Yeah, we a little muddy. I said it wasn't no pavement princess, and I guess I meant that. Man, she is muddy. It's called Get Out. Tailgate still looks pretty good. Yeah, gosh. Gruesome up on the hood. That thing is definitely gonna need a bath. Ha! Mighty, look at that. Can't even open the door without getting my hands filthy. You know how you'd grab it. Yep, got a big glob of mud all in there. I ought to go pick my kids up from school and make the teachers have to grab the handle. They'd like that. This is making me kind of reevaluate some things. I've been kind of bad in my past about if you saw a truck at the grocery store or something, it was covered in mud. I'd immediately be thinking, well, I wonder whose field he's been tearing up. Heck, the old sorry dude might have been like me and just trying to get out of the farm he was already at, working on something. Walked out here, I'm about to feed the cows, but I want to show you guys something I think is kind of cool. This is one of actually the first like manual truck that I really like, bigger truck. I drove some small trucks, like a 1-ton on the road, but this old baby right here, this was actually the first bigger truck that I ever really drove on the road. Old C65 Chevrolet. Check it out. Maybe there won't be some varmint in there that'll come flying out at me. Bunch of moths. There she is in all her glory. It had I don't remember what speed it is. I don't know if it's a 9-speed or what it is. It's got a high-low axle, because I remember the first time I drove it, I actually was hauling hay and I split into the high axle, shifted through the gears good on the low side, split into the high axle, was doing fine. Come time to downshift, had no clue how to get out of the high axle. I ended up having to like basically lug that thing to the field using just the high side, and got it there luckily, but I just thought that was cool. I wanted to show that old truck. It's got a 427 crate motor in it with like 5,000 miles on it or something. I mean, it has like no use on it, but always sounded awesome. It's got some rusted out glass packs on it, and I just love it. It's loud, dang near open headers at this point. But I wanted to show y'all, my dad just got in his new seed tender he was telling me about. Golly, it's muddy as crap. So here's what we've been using, this Easy Trail. They do the job, and that's what I'm gonna be using this year still, but they pull like crap. They're very top heavy, like they're pretty sketchy. You turn sharp and that one tire will come up off the ground. So this is Dad's new seed tender, J&M. Both of our buggies that we use are J&Ms. They're awesome. This seed tender looks freaking awesome. Man, that is nice. Look at that. Handy, so much handier than that other one, and I can tell you 100% certainty it'll pull so much better with triple tires versus that one over there. But I mean, you're talking probably a $30,000, $35,000 seed tender versus like a $5,000 seed tender. So it's night and day comparison, and this is cool, man. It's even got, I see it's got an attachment. Guess you could change out the spout, put one of these on here. It'll hold, yeah, 390 bushels. Dang. And the really cool thing about it is it has scales on it. So like on our combines, when you're calibrating your yield, you're supposed to calibrate your yield every time you basically start a new crop, and or change headers, like if you go from corn to beans. And you need to weigh it. When you yield, you're supposed to shell a hopper, unload it into something of some scales, weigh it, compare your weight on the combine to what the weight on the scales are, and that's how you calibrate it. This gives you that ability. So that's pretty cool. There's the control panel. Let's see. That's the master connect. Let's see if she. I'm tinkering around. I have no clue what I'm even looking at. Let's see, light. This is lights. Check it out. Check out the lights. You could work in the dark. I almost got one of it on the spout down there. Man, this is awesome. I'm jealous. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Patriotic Farmer Edition. I mean, how do you beat that? It's got like an American flag on it. Freaking Patriotic Farmer Edition. I want one just for that, man. That is pretty awesome. But really just wanted to show you guys this new seed tender out here, and just pretty much end out the video. I'm about to go up here and feed these bawling cows and try to not get just totally soaked in the process. Guys, comment below anything you'd like to see. If you have any questions about, you know, there's a lot of beginner questions I think of. If you got questions about beginner semis, like what would I recommend for a semi truck? What would I recommend for a sprayer? Any of these things that I can help you out on. Again, how to set up your budget for the new year and all these things. If you got movie reviews you want me to touch on, I mean, literally anything. I'm open to all of it. If you don't even feel like it necessarily relates to farming, you just like my take on it, feel free to ask. All right, guys, I'm gonna feed these cows, get after it, and we'll be seeing you in the next video.